This is a tamale, a sheet tray tamale, drowned in a fire sauce with cheesy queso Oaxaca. I think this could make a really good addition to your dinner table for Thanksgiving, the holidays. It's a very simple appetizer style dish because we're on a whole sides quest right now. This is everything I'm using for the tamales. A really good quality masa. I have this from Masienda and they make really good quality stuff. Then you'll need a baking powder. This is gonna help with that fluff, that added rise to the dough. A beef bone broth. You don't need this, but I think it makes it so much better. You can use water, but a bone broth, solid for that. And then of course at the end, I'll be adding salt, and these two added ingredients are not necessary, but I think they're better. Guajillo and MSG. I think the MSG will add extra umami, and some smokiness from the guajillo is definitely going to work. Now tamales, they are a South Texas staple. We always have them for this season, for the holidays. We honestly just have them all year. I grew up having them in public school for breakfast. But I wanted to show you a method that could probably make this a little appetizer that you just make on your own without having to wrap 30, 40, 50 tamales for, maybe 10, 15 people, because, we're all gonna have more than one. This dough is very straightforward. Everything gets tossed into the bowl and then we mix it up until it's nice and fluffy. You wanna give it a good mix for about a minute or so, just so we could develop that dough and get like a nice fluffiness, a nice texture to it. I know it involves corn husk, but I'm gonna be using a sheet tray for this today because I think this could be a really simple way to make this into a good side dish that you can include on your dinner table for the holidays, Thanksgiving. The way I'll usually gauge my masa is you want it to be like wet sand almost, kind of like, think of a really wet cookie dough. This shouldn't be super dry to the point you can make a tortilla out of it. It should still be like kind of falling apart, nice like wet sand. That's what you're looking for with this, so you don't have really dry, crumbly tamales. I can't talk right now. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This dude does not know what he's talking about. He's putting tamales in a sheet tray that's super whitewashed. Actually, I grew up on tamales. I had them all my life, even in my public school for breakfast. Like the little styrofoam lunch container situation. That's what we had our breakfasts in with tamales. For the holidays, we would have them, especially. We wouldn't make them because they're tedious to make. They take a long time and we just don't do that. But my grandma and my mom, we would buy them. The Mexican ladies would come door to door selling them, little push carts. And we'd get like a dozen for like $5, I think, maybe less than that. And up here, one tamale is like 15 bucks. It's crazy to me. I mean, just 2 years ago, I made tamales at the biggest football game of the year, the Dallas Cowboy Thanksgiving game. It's like the Super Bowl. They had my face on a food truck, and my buddy Chef Alvin Kalon from Egg Slut, he was on the food truck. We made like 2,000 tamales that day. We wrapped so many and they sold out in like 15, 20 minutes. That was a turkey tamale that I made. That was awesome. I also made some at the YouTube headquarters. I made some vegan ones because my friend, the Korean vegan Joanne, she wanted some, so I made her some vegan tamales too. So I've made them all kinds of ways. Stuff with turkey, stuff with vegan like squash filling. Today, I'm gonna keep it simple, and I'm using some roasted poblano. I just wanna roast some poblano on the fire, put some queso Oaxaca, make it like cheesy, smoky, a little spice, a little hot sauce on there. It's gonna be a nice little side dish. You can roast these off on your gas burner if you have one. Fortunately, I have one now. Or you could put them in the oven on broil and just broil them off just till they get like a nice char on them, so we can get that good smokiness and also rub that skin off. I remember my go-to order was the jalapeno with the cream cheese and frijoles. That was my favorite tamale. If you so wanted to, you could take those frijoles charros that I made in the past video. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's a really good side dish as well. You could take those and refry them and put that as your filling for these tamales. Now, to me, that would be a freaking winner. That'd be amazing. I just, I want to try some green chiles because, you know, it's one of my staple favorites. You could take this, toss it straight in your masa, and give it a little mixy mix. Look at that filled dough right there. That looks pretty nice. Now this is the part that I think is gonna make it a very easy thing for you to do. I'm putting it on a tray. This is a Detroit style pizza tray because I'm thinking it could be a nice little tray, kind of like a pizza pie, just kind of like spread all around nicely and then flattened down with some parchment paper so I could get it all even along the edges the way I want it. Then I would take some shredded cheese. For my cheese of choice, I was thinking queso Oaxaca, shredded and then placed all along the edges in a pile just so it can sort of form a crust like it would with a Detroit style pizza. Tamales are usually steamed. They're usually steamed out in the husk. And I think maybe to try and emulate that, I've got a pan that is scorching hot in here already, and I'm gonna add some hot water to that. And I think this can sort of emulate the whole steaming process for this. It might even add to like that balance, that softness that you get with the tamale. Hot, 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 hot! Here's a perfect holiday gift that shows that you are thoughtful and you care about burning your friend's mouth off. Fire sauce. The way my grandma always showed me to have my tamales, and this is the way I love it, is with Louisiana hot sauce. Now I thought I could take this opportunity to show you how to make your own hot sauce with any kind of pepper. I'm using one of the spiciest peppers, habaneros. And look, it could make a really great gift. Just bottle it up, give it to your friends for the holidays. It's kind of fun to send people back home with a hot sauce after the dinner, just so they can remember it and keep it in their fridge and use it throughout the year or maybe the week, depending on how their spice tolerance is. This one is actually really hot, so if you want, you can use a more mild pepper, such as like a Fresno chili or something like that. My peppers of choice is bell pepper because it has a nice sweetness to it, and a mix of habanero, which brings the heat. Typically, weigh your peppers, but let's say you forget to weigh your bowl. I usually write my bowl's weight in grams on the bowl. Handy little tip. This is just so we can salt it by weight. I always do 2% by weight in salt. Once it's all mixed up thoroughly, I toss it into the blender and I puree it until smooth. Once it's pureed, I'll go ahead and add vinegar to taste. I like using apple cider vinegar. Usually good hot sauce takes some time to ferment. Now to speed up this process, one of my favorite tricks is to use just some good old kimchi juice. It not only adds good flavor, but it adds some fermentation to it. And it's a pretty badass technique. Then at this point, it gets strained. Usually you can cook this off before straining it, but I'm just keeping it fresh for now. Once fully strained, bottle it up, put your special label on it and a date, and toss it in the fridge for whenever you want some fire hot sauce. Here's what I want you to do. We're already coming up on the holiday, so I want to start up Eggmas. Let me know what you want to see for Eggmas Season 2, and I'll start dropping a bunch of different egg videos for the holidays. And if you have any other ideas, let me know.